Welcome back to the Late Night Gamer. I changed things up just a little bit with the setup. I just moved the action cards over on the left side of the board and pushed my soldiers over to the right. Should be easier to follow and easier to film. Okay, so we are ready to start turn 1. And I said that I wanted to go first. So my objective in this game is really to take out 18 victory points worth of Germans, or alternatively refuse them to hold terrain card 3. Just zooming in on this terrain card and the 2 leaders, we are all now in these burnout buildings. There's a limitation to the burnout buildings and I can't move out of the building in my opponent's turn, so now is a good time to get out of there. So looking on the terrain in front of us, we do have a stream and some burnout buildings on the other side. This stream is Pegasus Bridge, right? So there are buildings on either sides, and because I need to stop the Germans from taking card 3, I'm going to advance into card 3 and hopefully into card 4 as well as soon as possible, and just dig in and hold out. Just a quick look at the actions I can do. I can really just move, attack or prepare. That's the 3 actions I can do. If I attack, the enemy as a response can move, counterattack or prepare. If I move out, the enemy can move, attack or prepare. If they attack, I then can counterattack. So this is sort of the logic in the game for actions and reactions. So if I move out now, I could, on the enemy turns, if they decide to attack, I could move out again. To do any kind of actions, I need to use my card, my action cards. But I don't have any move cards. I have an attack card, something with a lasting effect, fall back. But it doesn't really matter because I can play any card as a basic action, attack or move or counterattack. The dig in and hit the dirt are cards I probably want to have if I get attacked. And I'm not seeing myself attacking anytime soon because of the distance. So I'm going to use the put it on, use that as a move card, discard it, and move my men out. But when I do that, I actually want to play the obscured card as well, because it says something interesting. It says that when a section moves, or my sections, I'm calling them formations, or squads, but the game term is sections. So when a section moves, the opposing player cannot react to the moves. I'm playing that as well, so that the AI doesn't get to react to my move. Right, so Morris and his men are moving onto the stream and Pegasus Bridge. Let's actually draw them just a little bit to the left. They have moved, and I have to flip my counter here to acted. Now this section has acted. I'm eligible to act again with Corporal Jackson's section, but the scenario description says that I'm only limited to 1 section in the stream. These guys can then just be there to, well, do some cover fire if possible. What they can do is do a prepare action, because that will allow me to draw some cards. Let me show you how that works. So when I prepare, I do not have to use any action cards. I can just make that section prepare. It will allow me to discard any cards that I have on my hand, and for every soldier in the section I can either draw a card, I can reload a weapon, or remove a pin marker. Now the 2 last options here are not applicable at the moment for my section, so I will draw 1 action card for every soldier in that section. The section has 2 soldiers, so that's 2 action cards. And these guys have acted. I'm drawing from the pile of action cards. This thing, it's called cover fire, and I can counterattack with full firepower. That's interesting. Normally when I do a counterattack response, I can only use half my firepower, but with playing this card I can use my full firepower. It's useful. And double time, which is a move card, advance or retreat section 2 terrain cards. So I did a prepare action, the enemy will respond to that and do a prepare action himself. yeah, it's pretty far up there with the Germans, but if they were played by a human player, they would have to pick one squad that would do the prepare action and act with that squad. But the solitaire rules plays a little bit differently. It instructs us to draw a solitaire card and follow the two topmost descriptive actions or descriptive events there, and I do not flip any of the counters. Okay, opposing acting section gets 10 cover until player prepares. That's terrible. They get super cover now for the next round until I do a prepare action. Well, if they had pin markers, I would remove pin markers and use equipments. Then flanking removal. I have some cards with this flanking keyboard on which are beneficial to me, and they will stay in play until the enemy will remove them with cards like this. And they will do a reload, but they don't have to do that. They haven't fired their weapons yet. It's a star here, and they say the star says that I can expend one equipment to remove one additional pin. I will do that until all pins are removed. So for every equipment the enemy spends, he can do something. And the enemy has a pile of equipment here based on his equipment rating on the soldier cards. And it doesn't matter what they are, if they are medics or grenades. They are only used as counters to do additional actions. So that's a difference when you're playing a two-player game versus the AI. So now I have to remember that there's an effect in play. I'm just going to leave it there so I can remember it. They get extra cover. Because both of my sections now has acted, my turn is over. The enemy will have their turn and then the round is over. So between turns, when we alternate back and forth, I will flip back the acted counter into not acted. So my men are ready to react to any actions that the enemy may take. The scenario instructions tells us when the German is the AI, German solitaire says, I will advance any one German section except the Pak 38 at the start of each of their turns. So they get a free advance. They go from card 9 to card 8. Getting closer. So after a free advance, we will see what they do. We flip a card. Yeah, and you always do the two topmost things here. I must select and discard one action card. No. And pin, flanking and reloads doesn't really apply. So which one of these do I not need? I need all of them. But I'm taking the full back because I'm not falling back and throw it away. Okay. Then their smallest units. Oh, sorry, their smallest section number. That's the armored car. Will target my largest section, which are the guys in the streams. The distance, well, what's the distance? They are on card number 8, and I'm on 3, 5. The distance is 5. So they will advance. Yeah, that's good. Alright, they're advancing. Yep. They drove on to card 7, which is high ground. So they have a closer distance in terms of attack range when they are in high ground. And they have acted. Okay, so when these guys acted, I want to react to that. So what can I do? Well, they moved, so I can either move, attack or prepare. And I want to prepare because that will remove the lingering effect of extra cover for the enemy unit. So I'll do a prepare. So the hand limit is the number of cards I control plus the number of lead sections plus any other effects. So I control 3 cards. There's no enemy behind me, so I control 3, 2 and 1. I have 2 sections, so that's 5. Morris gives me a +1, and the stream also gives me a +1. It says I get a +1 additional hand size if I hold this card. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards. I have 4 in hand, so I can get 3 extra, but taking Corporal Jackson's section, and I draw 2 extra. And I get plus extra 6 firepower when I attack. Nice. And I will move my section And the enemy must discard one flanking position in play. It's not valid for AI play or solitaire play because the enemy doesn't have any flanking position cards. And I get +2 firepower on future attacks for each terrain card behind. So it sort of follows my section, the section I play this card on. Nice. Okay. So now the enemy has one more section left. And I think, yeah, so this is gone, this lingering effect. I did a slight error. The German solitaire rule says that I can advance any one German section, and that means one. Doesn't mean anyone. So the Germans should really not advance with both of their sections at the beginning of the turn, but just one of them. And let's say he advanced with a car. It's actually the player that gets to choose, so you can use a dice on the car. So that means that these guys are not on 8, they should be on 9 still, like that. Let's draw another solitary card for the non-acting section, which is the machine gunner and company. Advance closest opposing section if it is in an open ground or stream. And the closest one are the cars here. Can you see it? Okay, so they are on high ground, they don't advance, luckily. Then pin and flanking removals and reloads, doesn't happen. The least pin unit, and they only have one that I can select now. It's not a car because it has acted, it's the other guys. They will target my smallest unit. And the range, we need to calculate now the range. Well, they are on card number 9 and my smallest unit is on card number 2. That's 7 spaces away. So they will advance with a star. They would gain 2 additional equipments. So let's advance them from 9 to 8 open ground and give them 2 equipments in the mix. We flip them to acted. They have advanced. Right, so he has done that, so I can react to his actions now, and I would love to attack, but I really can't because the solitaire rules says that when the opposer player is acting, if his last section that can act performs a move, you can move, prepare, or do nothing. You cannot attack. So I will prepare. These guys will prepare, and in their prepare action they will draw cards. Can draw up to 4 cards. First I will see if I want to discard any of the cards I have. I'm going to discard this dig in card. I don't think I want to use that because I have to suffer morale hits. So I will draw 2 cards. I have 5 now. I discarded 1, so I get a fullback and I get a flanking position. Right, that's the end of the turn. Let's flip to round number 2. Flip this one back to my turn. Flip all of these guys to not acted.